Today in our 2018 Ford Explorer, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Etrailer Class 3 Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number E98867. So here's what our hitch is going to look like once we have it installed. The cross tube is going to sit right below the bumper, but it is going to sit back a little bit so it's not going to be that noticeable. It's a Class 3 hitch, so it's going to give us that 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. It's going to have a lot of different options for any kind of accessory that we want to mount up. The way we're going to mount any accessory is through the hitch pinhole here on the side. It is going to accept a standard 5/8 pin and clip. These are not included in the kit, but you can pick them up here at Etrailer.com along with some locking devices to keep your accessories secure. As far as the safety chain connection points go, it's going to be a plate style welded to the bottom of the receiver tube. And as you can see, we're not going to have too much trouble getting most size hooks on or off. As far as weight capacity goes, our hitch is going to have a 400-pound tongue weight, which is the maximum downward force of the receiver tube, along with a 4,000-pound gross trailer weight rating, which is the amount it can pull, including the trailer and everything we have loaded on it. Now it is rated for use with weight distribution systems, which is going to be a separate component that is mounted on your trailer. That's going to bump the tongue weight up to 500 pounds and the gross trailer weight rating up to 5,000 pounds. With all those numbers in mind though, you should always double check your Explorer's owner's manual and never exceed the manufacturer's recommended weight. I'd like to give you a few measurements, and that's going to help you whenever you're looking for accessories for your new hitch. From the center of the hitch pinhole to the outermost edge of the bumper, it's going to be right about 4.5 inches. That measurement is going to come in handy when you're looking at folding accessories to make sure you have enough room and it's not going to come in contact with the rear bumper. From the ground to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening, it's right about 16.5 inches. That measurement is going to come in handy when you're looking for a ball mount to find the appropriate rise or drop to match up to your trailer. So now that we've seen what our hitch looks like and gone over some of the features, let's show you how to get it installed. To begin our installation, we're going to need to lower our exhaust out. But before we fully lower it, we're going to want to make sure that it's supported. So I'm going to put a support strap up right by the rear axle. That way when we lower it, it doesn't come down too far. Now on each one of our mufflers, at the tip here, we'll have a rubber isolator on the exhaust hanger. You want to take some spray lubricant and spray the hanger down, and it'll make it a little easier to slide it off. We can take a pry bar and we'll use the muffler to pry against and slide that rubber isolator off of the hanger. You're going to want to do that for both of the mufflers. And right where the two mufflers come to a Y, right in front of that towards the front of the Explorer, we'll have another hanger that we can remove. Then on top of the frame rail here, we'll have these two bolts that are holding the hanger in place. We have an 18mm socket and we can pull those out. And we'll remove the one on the driver's side as well. Now on the passenger side frame rail, we're going to have a few holes in the bottom of the frame. We'll have this large one towards the very back of the bumper and two threaded holes going towards the front. These three on the passenger side are going to be our mounting locations. So for the very rear hole, we're going to take our pull wire. With the coiled end, we'll slide a square hole spacer block over it. We'll grab one of our carriage bolts and we'll thread it in place. Now one piece at a time, we're going to feed the carriage bolt into the frame, and then we'll feed our spacer block in. Now this is going to be kind of a tight fit. You're going to have to work it back and forth. But once you get it in there, you're going to want to pull back down on the bolt so it drops through and it engages that spacer block. We'll go ahead and grab the hangers that have the rubber isolators on them, and we're going to pull both of the rubber isolators completely off the hanger. We'll hold on to the rubber isolator because we're going to be attaching these to the hitch. On each end of our hitch, we'll have this tab that's on the inside. We'll grab our rubber isolator, a long hex bolt, and a flat washer. Slide the bolt through. We're going to go through the hole. And then on the other side, we're going to attach another flat washer and we'll secure it with a locking nut. Just want to get this at least hand tight for now, just so we don't have to worry about it falling off. And then we'll put the other one on the other side. Then we can grab a 16mm socket and wrench, and we're going to snug these up just to where it's going to be tight against there, but not squishing the isolator. You still want to be able to rotate and move the rubber isolator on there. So we'll go ahead and tighten up the other one. So before we hang our hitch up, I'd like to go over the hardware we're going to be using. We're going to take one of our hex bolts and a conical tooth washer. You'll notice it's going to have teeth on it. You want the teeth to be facing up towards the hitch. Once we have our hitch into position, we'll go through the hitch and into the frame, into the weld nuts with these bolts. Now with the next set of hands, we're going to lift our hitch up. We're going to make sure you put your pull wire through the hole on the passenger side. We'll go above the exhaust, and then we're going to put at least one bolt in on each side. That way the hitch will support itself and we can get the rest of the hardware in. For our carriage bolt, we're going to remove the pull wire. And then we'll take a flange nut. And you want to be careful when you put this on not to push the bolt back into the frame. We'll thread it in place. Then we can come back and snug everything up. For our hex bolts, I'm going to be using a 19mm socket to snug them up. And then for our flange nut, I'm going to use a 3/4 inch socket to tighten that up. We're going to come back with a torque wrench and we're going to torque all of our hardware down to the specified amount in the instructions. Make sure you repeat that for all your remaining hardware. Then we can put our exhaust back up. We'll start at the one in the center. I'm going to spray a little more spray lubricant on there. We can lift up the exhaust and slide it back on the hanger. To get the rear ones on, you are going to have to shift the exhaust to one side, get one started, and then you can push to the other side to get the other side started. And we can remove the strap that was supporting the exhaust. That'll finish up your look at the Etrailer Class 3 Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number E98867 on our 2018 Ford Explorer.